Hi, I'm Milt Tanzer again, and I'd like to welcome you to this edition of one of our videos, of a dozen or so of them that we have in the same place you found this one. Today I'd like to talk to you briefly, in part one of this two-part segment, on things I've learned the hard way when it comes to real estate investing, and so forth. The first thing I learned, which I've discussed in another video, is that banks are in the retail business, and that's all. They are not in the business to sell anything other than money, and they loan that out to people that are interested in buying real estate. But that makes it more interesting when you sit down. You don't have to be afraid of a banker, and if you want to look at the video that we have on the subject, it's on that subject particularly, on how to deal with banks and foreclosures, pre-foreclosures, and short sales. So that's the first thing I learned the hard way. Not to be petrified to talk to a bank officer, because they are in the business of getting rid of that money as much as you are in the business of wanting to acquire it for a real estate investment. If you can solve a customer or an individual's requirements, a need that he might have, whether it's pre-foreclosure or whatever, you become a hero with that individual. And I learned that the hard way too, through several things that I'll give examples of in another video. A college education. It's great. Everybody should have one. Everyone is encouraged to make it through college one way or the other. However, a college education teaches you to work for somebody else, not for yourself. And you'll never get rich working for someone else. The exceptions, of course, are if you become a doctor or an attorney and open up your own practice. But again, generally speaking, you will never get rich working for somebody else. Mortgages. People frightened about financing on properties. They may have been brought up by their parents and taught that you've got to get that mortgage paid off on your home so that you don't owe anything when you retire. Well, to a certain degree, this is probably true. But if you're talking about a real estate investment, and we're going to go into this when we talk about real estate investment financing, you'll find out that one of the best ways that you have of creating wealth in real estate is through the use of prudent, normal, sensitive, not sensitive necessarily, but logical financing on a property. We're going to even show you how to make sure that you are using the best possible financing that you can get without getting yourself into a financial situation that's a difficult one to get out of. The effects of inflation are really important when you consider real estate investing, as with anything else. We tend to forget about inflation. We see it in the paper, we see things going on all the time. Have you checked a pound of coffee recently? Not only has the price gone way up, but you'll discover if you look at the package of coffee, it's no longer a pound. It's only 12 ounces. So at the same time coffee is going up in price, the quantity in that 1 pound package is diminishing. This is an effect of inflation. And it affects everything. Inflation also affects real estate, but it generally affects it in a positive nature. A good way to make more money is in the appreciation factor that real estate is sure to undergo. In another video I talk why, or explain why, real estate has to continue to appreciate even if it goes through a down market such as the one we've been in recently. It's easy to become a hero with your best friend, especially if you get him involved in something financially that's a success, like borrowing some money from him to buy that first property. However, it's equally easy to make him your worst enemy if you don't know what you're doing when you borrow that money. And we go through details in our courses on how to make sure you do not make a financial mistake when you invest in a piece of property. Most leases protect the lessee, or the person who's renting the space, more than it protects the lessor or the owner of the property. And again, this is the subject of another video, but I want to bring it up briefly here just so that you realize that this is a possible consideration when you write a lease with an individual to lease space from yourself. Owning real estate can result in an expensive love affair. Now, I'm not going to go into that any further. You're going to have to look at the video that I have on real estate and your love affair and see what I mean by that. It's not what you're thinking, so don't get all worried about it. Now, if you are presently a professional, such as a doctor or an attorney or an accountant or whatever, and you are leasing your office space from somebody, you are making a huge financial mistake. Something that could start you very well and easily into your road to financial riches. And again, we have a video on leasing space to yourself in this series of videos. There's over 12 or 14 videos in this, incidentally. So you may want to search the same place you found this one and see what else you can learn, because they're all free information available to you, and a lot of good tips and ideas from my 25 plus years of investing myself, working with investors from large ones to small ones, and my advanced degree in commercial investment real estate through the National Association of Realtors. So consequently, I've been there, I've been around for a while, I've learned a lot from a lot of these people, and I'm passing it on to you bit by bit in these videos. There are times when you may want to pay more for a property than the asking price. Now that sounds ludicrous. I have a hard time making people to believe this. Why would you pay more than the guy's asking for the property? Well, a couple of instances. The first one might be that you've got a hot property that there's all kinds of people making offers on it and you don't want to lose it. Secondly, it may be a way of using the price of the property to negotiate some other concessions, such as terms and conditions of the purchase of the property. Anyway, something to keep in mind. Again, we'll talk more about this, but I urge you to tune into our website, www.investmentre.com. You can see it on the screen below you here, and use that as a guide to give you all kinds of free tips and ideas. You'll read some of the infomercials or some of the testimonials from other customers of our program and see how inexpensive and complete our programs can be. All from a single ebook that costs under $10 all the way up to and including a full-blown audio-visual investment course with several books and ebooks, and the same course that I give for Florida Atlantic University live in Boca Raton, Florida. So please take a look at our website on the address that you see below, and I'll see you on the next video, and I hope to see you at the top of the heap. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.